Greetings and salutations, and this is Tech Plays here, back with more Tomb Raider, and we are on part 6. We are making good progress in this game. Like, we're almost halfway through, I want to say. I forget how many parts there were in total, but it's no, I know it's not a super long Let's Play.
What were those things?
I want to say it's 14 parts,
They were dressed like
maybe 13. It's actually pretty short. Like, that's, I think I mentioned that, like, either in the first video or the second video, that I was actually surprised that this game ended when it did. It's like, the ending is satisfying and everything. Like, it feels like an ending. It's more that it kind of feels like a couple hours shorter than Rise.
All I know.
And that kind of surprised me. I was like, damn, I was kind of expecting Rise of the Tomb Raider length where it would take like 15, 16 parts. No, this took 13, 14 parts. But yeah, it's not really something I'm against though, because the game does pace well. That's the thing with me, right? Is that I prefer a game to be paced well and to be fun all the way through than to be super long. Like, quite honestly, I will love a 5-hour game that's paced well, fun start to finish, highly replayable over a game that's 40 plus hours long. Just saying, I will prefer that. Now, obviously, I do prefer games that are longer than 5 hours. My preferred length for a game is like anywhere between 8 and 20 hours. That's like my sweet spot. Especially for Let's Plays. Like, that's the sweet spot for Let's Plays.
I just want out.
Anything longer than 20 hours is a bitch to Let's Play. And anything shorter than 8 hours is
Maybe over here.
is a pretty short Let's Play. This game right here, I believe, was like 6 or 7 hours. Anyway, this game right here is like 6 hours, and Rise is like 8 or 9. Your average Resident Evil game is about 8 to 10 hours. And it also depends on how much you play the game. Because I would say the average length, like, I've noticed this, right? There's like a length of the first time you play the game, a length of most of your replays, and then a length once you've mastered the game when it comes to a lot of games. And particularly RE is like one of those series where like your playtime will be greatly affected by that, because I think the main examples I can give here is RE Village and RE Remake, because my first run of RE2 Remake was like 9 hours, like just one scenario, just for the A story.
I'm here,
right?
Sam.
It was
Are you
9
okay?
hours. Then most of my replays were like
This is so fucked up.
6 to 7
Listen,
hours.
I'm coming to get you. I'm going to get you out of
And
there.
then,
Please.
well, no, it was like
Please
7
help
to 8
me, Laura.
hours actually
I promise.
per campaign.
I
And then,
promise.
like, now that I've mastered the game years later, I can do the campaign in like 4 to 5 hours.
Help me, please.
I haven't exactly mastered RE Village, but I have gotten a lot better at it, and it's kind of like a similar thing. My first run of the game was like 10 or 11 hours. Then most of my replays were 8 or 9, and now I can beat the game in like 6 hours. So, I would say like the average length between mastering the game and your first run is really what I consider the length of the games. Like, I consider RE2 Remake an 8-hour game for its first scenario, and then a 6-hour game for the second scenario, because that's kind of how long the scenarios took for most of my runs of the game before I mastered it.
Keep working. I'll go check it
And
out.
after my first run where it was really slow. And RE Village is a similar thing where, like,
Nothing here.
my first run was like 10 or 11 hours, and then most of them were
Apart all over the
8 or
island.
9, and my last run was 6 hours. My last run being probably the point I officially consider myself not exactly a like master at RE Village, but like I've gotten almost a pro in the game, because you get to that point where you replay a lot, right? Is like you eventually get to the point where you're almost a pro at it. If not, you are a pro at it, depending. Because like I feel like I'm a pro at RE2 Remake, but with RE Village, I'm definitely not. I'm definitely like really skilled with it, and I can beat the game faster than most people. But there's also, I don't think I'm on the level of like pros of that game. I might get there with a few more playthroughs, but not quite there yet. With what I consider like the point I consider I've mastered a game is when I can beat it in just over half the time my first run was. If not half the time my first run was. And I can get through the game without dying. It doesn't matter if I get through the game every time without dying. It matters if I can get through without dying. The first time I can get half the time my original run was, or just over it. And I can get through the whole game without dying. That's when I considered I've mastered a game. And that's where I'm at with RE2 Remake. I'm kind of that way with, what other RE game am I like that with? I'm like that with Revelations 2 as well. I can pretty much get through Revelations 2 without dying. And I could beat the game in half the time my original run with
No
Cherry
way
was.
around.
Because my first run of RE
Got to cross.
Revelations 2 was with my sister Cherry. Because it was originally, I didn't know anything. Revelations 2 was my introduction to RE, and it was in video, and I played it with her. And then, like, a few years later, I got my own copy. It was actually, if I remember, no, it wasn't in a bundle. I actually got it for $8. There is a bundle now with Revelations 2. I don't think there was at the time. But I got it for like $8 on sale, and I later got the first Revelations 2. That was pretty fun. I haven't mastered that. I want to master that because it's a really fun game, but it's pretty challenging compared to a lot of other RE games I've played. I think the only RE game that challenges me more than Revelations might be, at this point, after I've replayed a lot of these games a bunch of times, at this point is RE3 Nemesis. That's probably the one that challenges me most. Revelations. Or more than Revelations. Because, okay, Code Veronica challenges me more than that too. I gotta give Code Veronica a second chance. Since and the reason I say I need to give it a second chance is because I actually got through a full RE game using tank controls now. So I know I could do Code Veronica. I know I could get rid of the one thing that I was struggling with in Code Veronica if I really tried now. Especially since I've gotten through a whole game with tank controls, I could probably beat Code Veronica. I'm not sure if I want to though, because there is rumors of a Code Veronica and Zero remake. And the reason I stopped playing Zero every time, Zero's pretty good. It's pretty... Okay, it's not like fantastic. Like, it's a solid game, right? It's pretty fun. But the reason I always stop playing Zero, like, halfway through the game is because, it's because the item drop system wasn't handled too well. That's really it. It's just that. I do like the partner system and you need to, like, split off sometimes. That's pretty fun. But the drop item system really wasn't as good as it would later get in Revelations 2, because if you don't know, Revelations 2 is the other RE game that lets you do that. I don't remember if RE4 Remake lets you drop items, but I don't think it does. I think you can discard them and use them, but you can't drop them. I think you can only do that in Code Veronica and, not Code Veronica, in Zero and Revelations 2. Revelations 2, the dropped item system works way better, because there's way less key items to worry about in that game. And whenever you do get a key item, it's usually for an area that's nearby. So you're not carrying it for a while like you do in Zero. So like, it's just handled a lot better in Revelations 2. I do need to play Revelations 2 eventually, because it is one of my top 3 RE games after 2 Remake and 3 Nemesis. Village got bumped down. Because, like, originally my top 3... Okay, originally, when the RE4 Remake came out, and this was kind of recency bias a little bit, I'll admit that. I'm not immune to recency bias. I will admit that, like, a lot of times I do avoid recency bias somehow, because, like, my opinion on a game won't really change too much after the period I first play it, but there there are some occasions where like I do have recency bias, and once that's worn off, then like I'll definitely have less of a positive opinion on the game. But that is what happened with RE4 Remake for me. It's a great game, don't get me wrong. And the thing I mentioned in the last video definitely like plays a part in souring my opinion of it a little bit. But I am trying to judge it without that in mind. Because obviously, I'm so upset I can't enjoy RE4 Remake. I even took the whole Let's Play down. Bam, like I took that Let's Play down. I might replay it someday in the future. I might.
Nope.
If I ever do,
But he won't get far.
it'll probably be like a few years in the future once like
Got him locked up in the caves.
I feel like
I don't understand. Why is Father Matthias keeping them alive?
it'll have to be at a point where I'm confident I can get through the whole game without thinking about that person, right? But I'm not going into that again. But when RE4 Remake came out, my top 3 games were RE2 Remake at number 1, RE4 Remake at 2, RE Village at 3. Then, like, when I got to the end of 2023, RE4 kind of dropped down to 3rd place, right? And 4th place that whole time is Revelations 2, by the way. Revelations 2 is in 4th place that whole time. And then that situation with that former friend happens. And it drops the game like 2 places. Letting Revelations 2 and I know I said I'm going to try to judge it without thinking about that, but that literally does sour it. It drops the game 2 places for me. And it's still stuck at the place it's been at. Well, actually, no, it's actually a place lower because of 3 Nemesis. But, you know what I mean. So, like, at that point, right, RE2 Remake was at number 1. RE Village was at number 2. Revelations 2 was at number 3. RE1 Remake was at number 4. And RE4 Remake was at number 5.
Oh, that hurt.
That was kind of what it was at the time. That top 5 has mostly stayed the same order, everything. No games below it have gone above it. But a game has been added since. And it's not just recency bias speaking anymore, because I beat that game half a year ago. I beat that game in October. It's about to be March. Recency bias gone. RE3 Nemesis is still my top 3. It got added. So now, it's at number 1, it's RE2, number 2 is RE2 Remake, then at number 2, it's RE Village, number 3 is RE Nemesis, number 4 is Revelations 2, number 5 is RE1 Remake, and number 6 is RE4 Remake. If you're curious of where other games stand, Revelations is at number 7. Under RE4 Remake. It's at number 7. What other games are there? Hold on, I gotta think first. And actually, no, hold on. RE7 is at number 7. I forgot about RE7 for a second. That's at number 7. RE Revelations is at number 8. I'm trying to think what's left. I know RE5 and 6 are left, but I'm not sure if I'm ready for those. Code Veronica 0. 0's at number 9. Because it is a fun game, it's just kind of dragged down by one single feature. It's a pretty fun game otherwise, though. RE5 would be at number 10. Code Veronica at 11. RE6 at 12. And the only reason Code Veronica is that low is because of how much I played, which is why I want to give it another chance someday. If a remake of Code Veronica does get announced, before I can get around to doing a Let's Play of the original Code Veronica, I'm just not going to Let's Play the original Code Veronica. But I might play through it. I might still play through it and give it a second chance. I might still do that. I don't think it's going to, like, get in my top 6. Or even, no, it's not. It's definitely not going to get in my top 8. Because I feel like there's kind of a big drop between Revelations, which is at 8, and 0, which is at 9. Like a big drop in terms of like quality. Because I feel like from my 1st place spot to my 8th place spot, it's kind of just each spot is slightly less good than the last spot, but they're all still fantastic games. RE Revelations is a solid 7 out of 10 for me. It's a 7 out of 10 for me. When my 8th place game is a 7 out of 10, and then you drop down to a game that's a 6, that's the first big gap, because it slowly goes from like a game I consider a 10 out of 10 to a 7 out of 10 in 7 places. In 1 place, it goes down to a 6. 6 for me, I feel like it's different from how most people would judge it. 6 for me is bare minimum good. It's above mid, but it's not... Like, this is how I rank stuff, right? 5 is mid. 5 is always mid for me. That is mid. Anything under 5 is negative. Anything above 5 is positive. 6 is it's fun, but it's got issues. 7 is it's solid. 8, it's a fantastic game. 9, I fucking love this game. It's one of my favorites. And 10 is it's perfect. And RE2 Remake is one of those few games that I consider perfect. Yes, I know they didn't bring back the zapping system, which, personally, I just don't care. I really love it. It's a thing where I didn't play the original, therefore I don't care. And I don't think I want to play the original, because I don't want to ruin my favorite RE game. Because one or two things are going to happen if I play the original. One, I'll play it, appreciate the zapping system, then my opinion of my favorite RE game is soured. Or, B, I'll play it, and I'll have a bias for the remake to the point where I hate it. The reason I chose RE3 Nemesis over RE2 when the original versions both got added to PS5 is because I knew I could play Nemesis and not have any issues. I don't like the remake that much, even before I played Nemesis. Now I hate the fucking remake. I forgot to put it on the fucking ranking. 3 Remake is under 0, by the way. It's under 0, because 0 is a 6. Anything under 0 is a 5 or less. 0 is a 6. There's literally no games close to where 0 is, because 0 is a 6. The closest is a 7 and a 5. I feel like 3 Remake... Actually, 3 Remake isn't even a 5. So, it goes under RE5, because it's not even mid. It probably was mid to me, like, honestly, I feel like 3 Remake would have ranked between 7 and Revolution before I played the original, but now it's pretty fucking hard. Like, it's definitely, like, down there. If you want, like, my exact, like, rating of this game, it's a 10. I obviously already gave away that it's a 10 out of 10 for RE2 Remake. I'm not going to use exact decimals, but... Village, Nemesis, Village, RE3 Nemesis, and Revelations 2 are all 9 points. I'm going to use exact decimals, I feel like it, but they're all 9 points. They're all in the 9s, right? Okay, you got that. In 5th place was, RE4 Remake. The fact is, RE4 Remake is still an 8 out of 10 game. With, like, my opinion was sour. It's just if my opinion wasn't sour, it'd be a 9 out of 10. It'd be a solid 9 out of 10. I think it would still drop down below RE2 Remake, but it would surpass... Or not RE2 Remake. I think it would still surpass RE Revolution. I think it would surpass the RE1 Remake and RE7. No, wait. Where did I put words? 6 after the RE1 Remake, right. Okay, I think it would surpass the RE1 Remake, but it would still be below Revelation 2, like if it wasn't sour. Because it'd be like straight down, no decimal record. But to name something right now, so... In 5th place, RE1 Remake. 6th is RE4 Remake. Those are both 8 point something. 7th and 8th, which are 7 and Revelations are both 7 point something. I feel like 0 is a direct 6. No decimal. 6. 6. Plain 6. RE5 is a plain 5. No decimal. And I start using decimals again once we go under RE5. RE3 remake is after RE5. What is this one? The 8th was Revelations. 5. So 11th, which is RE3 remake, and 12th, which is Code Veronica. Actually, no. Code Veronica's a whole place down. Actually, yeah. No, I think I'd consider them both 4 point something. And then you have last place with RE6, which is a 2. Straight 2. It's another big drop. It's another big drop. But yeah. I need to play more RE games, but there's no way I can play them on modern consoles aside from, like, the only ones on modern consoles I don't own that are already out is the original RE1 and the original RE2. Which I might get the original RE1 one day and play it, but that also reminds me, I need to do a Let's Play of RE1 Remake because it's a fantastic game. I need to do one for that and Revelations 2, because they're kind of the only games I'm missing right now out of, like, the ones I want to Let's Play. Besides RE Requiem, obviously, but that's not out yet, and I don't have the money for it yet either. But aside from RE Requiem, the only RE games left for me to Let's Play that I already own. Actually, no, I don't even have to say aside from RE Requiem for that. Out of the RE games that I already own, the only ones left to Let's Play are Revelations and RE1 Remake. And you might be going, how do you rank how do you rank 5 and 6 so low when you don't own them? Because I did own them at one point. They were physical copies. Therefore, I don't have them in my library anymore. They were physical copies. Thank fuck I played physical copies back then. These days, I definitely have, like, I have a better eye for games I enjoy, so it's like, it's definitely worth the risk getting a digital copy. Especially because, like, digital copy sales, PlayStation store sales are really fucking good. So, like, it's just beneficial to get the digital copy. Because unless it's, like, a shit game, because, like, the only game in my library, right, that I regret buying, actually 2 of them right now, but that may change once I replay Code Veronica. The only games in my library that I currently own that I regret buying is Code Veronica and Sonic Forces. Only 2. Only 2 games in my library I regret buying. I'm gonna be honest with that. Because they're the only 2 games in my library that I never had any fun with. Like, granted, there are some games that I liked at first, but then, like, my opinion soured later, or games that I just haven't gotten around to yet. Like, there's those types of games, obviously. But they don't fall under the I regret buying them, because I did get some enjoyment out of them, or I will get some enjoyment out of them. With RE3 Remake, for example, you might have noticed that I didn't say that or 0 were purchases I regret. It's because I did have some fun with them for a time being. I can still have fun with 0. It's just I kind of get annoyed with 0 all the time, so I stopped playing it. But I can have fun with those early hours. The early hours of 0 are really fun. And with 3 Remake, I actually did enjoy it a good chunk. I would have ranked it a 6. I would have ranked it a 6 with 0. Before I played it. Now it's like a 4 point something. It should be above so far, because I can still play RE3 and RE3 Remake. I just don't enjoy it as much. That's the thing for me. I feel like every game Ori 3 remake and higher up on the list, on the ranking list I just made, is a game I can play. That I'm okay with playing a little bit of. To a degree. I gotta say to a degree, because 3 of those games, obviously, RE4 Remake, 0 and 3 Remake, are obviously have some kind of issue that kind of keep me from playing through the whole game now. But, aside from that, but yeah, I need to do RE1 Remake and Revelations 2 at some point, but I'm saving them for other seasons of Tech Plays. Plus, if a new RE game is coming out sometime soon and I'm able to get, and I know I'm able to get it, because I know I'm gonna be able to get RE Requiem, it just might not be by launch date. I already have $54 saved up. I kind of just need, with tax, it's gonna be like, I think, 73, 74, something like that. I kinda just need to save another $20. The issue is, I'm probably not going to be able to do that by the time it launches. It launches, at the time of doing this commentary, it launches in 2 weeks. Actually not 2 weeks, in 10 days. It launches in 10 days at the time of doing this commentary. I'm definitely not going to be able to get it by now, but I might be able to get it by the time this Let's Play ends. We'll see. If I don't, obviously I got some close content until then, and I'll literally hold off Tech Plays videos until I get RE Requiem. But we'll see how that goes, obviously. But yeah, dodging these guys because of fun of them.
Alright, get around!
We're having fun with these fire arrows. I fucking love these things, by the way. Fire arrows. Love them. Love them. Fire arrows, more like goat arrows. Hey, bro. Bro, chill. Bro, chill. I like how I ramble about like other things this whole video, and then now I'm just like locked in on focusing on the gameplay. Bro, chill. I may have damaged myself, but hey, I leave him the fuck up. That's where it counts, right? That's where it fucking counts, right? At least I got him. I may have took damage in the process, but I got him. You gotta give me credit for that. To be fair, that could have killed me. If I was like a little closer to that explosive barrel, that would have killed me. Definitely killed me. So that was definitely a close call. But it was worth it because I didn't die. And I did kill the guy. We still got him. Because fuck the shield. I feel like the shield enemies are a little easier to deal with in Rise. Because you have the throwable explosives. You have some of those around in this game too, like you're able to throw lanterns at certain points, right? But those don't really help much. Really the best way to deal with like these shield guys in this game is literally shooting explosive barrels behind them. That's really like the best way. But there's not explosive barrels in every encounter with them. Which means other times you're either going to have to do the dodge and then attack method that the game wants you to do. Which is not fun, by the way. It's not fun. Probably, I love this game's combat, but there are some like weak points that I feel like Rise improves on. Because in Rise, you get like the throwables, which are you get the throwables around the same time you run into your first shield enemy. So you automatically have like an easy way to deal with those guys off the bat. In this game, you don't have an easy way. Every way to take on those guys involves some kind of tactic. Whether it be blowing up an explosive barrel, doing the dodge and then like counterattack thing, or doing the dodge and then shooting them once their shield's out of the way, which is also tough. But yeah. You can also use the grenade launcher on them later in the game, but the grenades bounce around, so it's not ideal. It is a method that works if you can get it to, but the grenades like to bounce off their shields, so. The shield enemies in this game is to either blow up the explosive barrels behind them, or the dodge and counter method. But there's not always explosive barrels, obviously, so the dodge encounter is the most effective in this game. But in the sequel, you get the explosive throwables, which do a lot. You can also use the shotgun on some of the shield enemies to make them raise up their shields, but sometimes it takes like multiple shots. It's not worth it in the later game because they get more like... I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like the shield enemies, as the game goes on, can take more shotgun hits before they'll raise up their shield and get staggered by it. Because in the early game, there's like a few moments where I get lucky and I stagger them and they raise their shield when shooting them with a shotgun, but as the game goes on, that becomes less effective, and so they start taking multiple shots, so it's just not effective. But yeah, anyway, we're going to be ending off the video here, so bye.